A trade request recently came out, which touched me very inappropriately, and I absolutely loved it. It's basically the first one of 2024. Being said that Alex Neal-Bullen has advised Melbourne that he wishes to be traded to a South Australian club at season's end per The Age. Again, I think everyone kind of thought it was going to be Port Adelaide, especially with Dan Houston being linked to Melbourne for so long. But as we know right now, it doesn't seem like Dan Houston's interested in Melbourne. There was a report posted a bit ago that said that Houston just doesn't like what he sees with Melbourne's future right now, and he doesn't really see the vision. Of course, that could really just change with one meeting over KFC at some bloke's house or something like that. You could definitely convince him to come. But I have a feeling with the other reports as well, it seems like Adelaide are going to be the club that is most likely going to trade for Neal-Bullen. Adelaide have not been the best drafters in the last couple years. That's no secret. But at least a couple of their players are finally starting to come on, like Riley Thilthorpe, who I never thought was going to actually do it. And now he looks like the Incredible Hulk. And holy shit, when he touches you, you fucking know you've been touched, because, my God, that man looks like he's shooting fucking all the herbs and spices that made Arnie big straight up his arsehole. That's what that guy looks like he's doing. But yeah, obviously Neal-Bullen would be good for Adelaide. I think with them historically not being the greatest drafting team, I would look to take a really good player in the top 10. I would still look at Lukosius and Neal-Bullen and all of these players as options to trade in for. And then you also look at the other side of the things. Port are probably going to have to trade Houston away. They've got a ton of players in GWS they're looking at, like I think Peatling is one of them. Perryman is another one, I believe. They got a ton of guys they are continuously looking at. They'll also look at Jack Lukosius. I'm sure they'll look at Neal-Bullen. But yeah, Neal-Bullen might be last on their priorities at the moment, because they've got a ton of things to do this offseason, like they basically have to do every single offseason. If I was Melbourne, though, this sucks. Neal-Bullen is low-key one of their most underrated players. He's kind of the glue to their team. He's a really underrated midfielder when he goes in there, and is a pretty lethal small forward as well, and has been doing it for a couple years. This is a massive loss for Melbourne, and if Adelaide can make this happen, having a forward line of Rankin, Neal-Bullen, and obviously Rochelle most likely in there, those guys roving around Thilthorpe, who should take a massive step next year, will be something the eyes would very much like to see, like Selena Gomez for the longest amount of time. You know what? Still Selena Gomez. She's still fucking hot. I've said it. Benny Blanco, you can kiss my ass. Fuck you. I actually really like Benny Blanco's music, so I don't know why I said that. And yeah, as mentioned earlier, it says the Adelaide Crows are expected to make a trade play for Gold Coast Jack Lukosius. We know it seems like Gold Coast are trying to move on from him. It makes sense. They have a ton of great quality tools, and he hasn't found his role at Gold Coast. I think Port Adelaide will look at him too, but Adelaide are obviously there, and will definitely do a lot of research on him and Neal-Bullen. It's also being said that clubs are keeping tabs on Liam Ryan's availability on the trade block amidst circling trade rumours per 9 News. Despite 2 years left to run on his contract, Ryan is tempted by 3+ year deals from rival clubs. Again, even though he's been injured for quite a bit, I believe he's only like 27, and it showed that his speed really hasn't gone too much. It also shows that he's still got a very nice, I think, way of getting the ball and be creative with it. The thing is, I expect the club to definitely offer about 3 to 4 years to get Ryan to the team. I really don't know who that is going to be. I would have said Fremantle originally, but obviously Shea Bolton going to Freo and them really wanting Liam Baker, they've got their eyes full on these smaller, speedy players. Again, Adelaide seem to really be trying to hit the trade market this offseason, being interested in Neal-Bullen and Lukosius. I think Ryan will also be another player they do decide to look at. An interesting one who I feel like no one is talking about whatsoever, who would kind of suit him really well, actually does happen to be the Saints. Again, in Ross Lyon's first year with the Saints, they would often have this game style that was pretty chip kick around until you find the right option, and then you absolutely go guns blazing and have a massive load of speed through their wings and high half forwards. Similar to what Hawthorn are doing now, and similar to what Richmond basically created in their flag years. But obviously, for some reason in this year, that just really hasn't worked. They brought in Liam Henry to try and add to that. He's been injured basically the whole year. I think Brad Hill has missed a fair bit of footy. Dan Butler is like half the player he was last year as well. Jack Higgins has had to play a lot more midfield time because of the lack of midfield depth they have on this team. And they've just gone to this really crappy chip kick, slow offense that I think Ross Lyon definitely doesn't want to do. I think Ross Lyon would be pitching to Liam Ryan and saying, look, we want to bring you in on this 4-year deal. We'll bring back Henry next season. We'll bring you in. Hopefully the team will be a bit more fit. Of course, we will go out and draft some more quicker players too, add some more midfield depth. And then all of a sudden next year, we can go from a forward line that was just pretty much Higgins in there half the time and an old Butler to you, Higgins. Liam Henry will probably play a bit more forward time next year as well. Whatever goes on with Dan Butler, I don't know. A potential another small forward they might go and draft. I think Ross Lyon will have a lot to pitch to a dude like Liam Ryan. I actually think he'd be kind of a cool team to go to. They seem to be like they need to go out and get some more pieces to really fill out this team, and they can try and make another push for the 8. Of course, I'd very much like to hear all of your thoughts and opinions down below. Who do you guys think any of these players we've talked about should go to? Do you think Liam Ryan could be on like the Saints radar, or do you guys think another team like Adelaide might look at him? I really don't know what you guys think. Fucking let me know down below, of course. Subscribe to my gaming channel and my IRL/vlogging channels. Links for them will be in the description down below. And I guess I will see you guys next time. Goodbye.